Hello, hello. I hope everything is going well with you. This is a wonderful, wonderful day, and I am so grateful because it is a great day. This is Thursday. It is the 7th, I believe it's the 7th of November in the year 2024. And I was coming live, but then with my streaming network, it had changed on me yesterday. All of a sudden, it said you have a new home, and so I had to learn to deal with it. And so as I was coming on here, then it took me back and I had to do something else, but I am here and I am so thankful, thankful, thankful. Dear God, as I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. Amen. So now I have my monitor on and I'm going to go on. Where is our mind? Where is our mind? I've been listening to the Spirit of God today, and it has been opening my mind up to some things that I said, oh, that is it. And so I tell you, this is where this subject came from. Where is, I have your on there, but I had changed it to our because I include myself. Where is our mind? Where is it? So I have some great articles today, and I want to talk about things. Sometimes things happen to us, our minds, but we're not aware at the time of what's going on with us. And then sometimes when we realize what's going on, it's already taken place. So I just want to talk about this today, talk about brainwashing. I'm not saying that we are brainwashed, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're brainwashed. I'm not saying I'm brainwashed, but I'm just bringing something to our minds. Where's our mind? What's going on? You might think of some things here. Uh, Brainwashing. And this is from Wikipedia, brainwashing. And it goes on to tell us that brainwashing is a controversial theory that purports that the human mind can be altered or controlled against a person's will by manipulative psychological techniques. Brainwashing is said to reduce its subject's ability to think critically or independently, to allow the introduction of new unwanted thoughts and ideas into their minds, as well as to change their attitudes, values, and beliefs. Brainwashing, okay? We've heard that term so many times throughout our lives, haven't we? Many of us have brainwashing. Oh, she's brainwashed. Oh, he's brainwashed. Oh, they're not doing nothing down there but brainwashing those people. Yeah, they're brainwashed, okay? So we're talking about brainwashing. Now I'm going to go into, I think I'm in psychology today, and I'm in Psych Central, and I have another piece, I believe. Yes, I'm in uh, learning mind. Learning mind. Okay, so that's where I am. Now, I'm going to go to psychology today. Is total mind control? This is something that I've been studying this morning, thinking about this. This is something to be thought about. Okay? Is total mind control possible? Is total mind control possible? And this is from Psychology Today, and this is by John Ryder, PhD, talking about hypnosis, the power of trance. So this is in one of his articles. So expert perspective on a scenario from the worlds of sci-fi and espionage. Okay, this was posted in 2015 on the 24th of September, and Jessica Schrader is the one who uh, reviewed this for Psychology Today. Can hypnosis be used to make someone do something against his or her own will? We've seen examples of it. I've seen it on television where on these movies and shows they are supposed to be hypnotizing people, and people are doing what they tell them to do until they break the hypnotic influence on their minds. Okay, so can hypnosis be used to make someone do something against his or her will? Can it be done? Oh my goodness. Good afternoon, Barbara. Hi, Auntie. How you doing? I'm waving at the phone. The phone is my monitor. Hi, Auntie. How you doing? Thank you so much for being with me. Can hypnosis be used to make someone do something against his or her own will? Okay, dokie. That's a question. This question has been the source of great controversy. And the writer said, I served as a consultant about hypnosis to the Woody Allen's film, The Curse of the Jade Scorpion, in which the character of Voltan uses hypnosis to get others to steal for him without recalling the event. So, do you think that hypnosis is possible? Do you think it's really a form of mind control? Okay, one thing about it, I won't ever knowingly allow someone to hypnotize me, okay? So, can hypnosis be used for mind control? That's the question. And the topic here is, where is our mind? I have your on that part, but it's our mind because I always include myself, okay? So here we go. There has certainly been a lot of research on the subject. The CIA and KGB have both experimented with hypnosis to create the perfect spy or even an assassin. But while I have read many stories, this is the writer, okay? While I've read many stories about these experiments, I've never seen any proof of their success. Now, just because someone hasn't seen it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Now, I'm not saying that it does exist, but I can say all day long that something doesn't exist and it could exist. I just have not witnessed the existence of it. Okay? He said, I've never seen any proof of their success. He said, much may be possible in the dark and sinister underworld of spies and madmen, but university research on the possibilities has always been limited by ethics. Ooh, 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 that's a word. Ethics. All right. Could you be hypnotized? And all our lives, well, mine, I've been saying hypnotized, okay? Hypnotized, all right? Could you be hypnotized and forced to do something illegal or diabolical? That's a great question. That's a great question. The general answer is that you cannot. That's the general answer now. The general answer is that we cannot. Okay, there is a possibility, however, that if one had unlimited resources of money, listen to this. Listen to this. I know you hear me. I know you hear me. I'm talking to myself too. There is a possibility, however, that if one had unlimited resources of money, power, and time, devious plans could be designed. And as I'm talking about this, and it was uh, it was in my mind this morning, just heavy, and I started studying it, finding material so I could present it to you. And it's just, God gave me a direction, a direction. And I am excited about it. And I asked him to let me do it and not let it take me long to do it, because there's something that he is saying to me about our minds. Okay. So it said it could be possible to control someone's mind through hypnosis or some other measure if you have the resources, like if you have the money, if you have the power, you have the time, and the devious plans that it could be designed. Okay, so there really were many secret experimental programs like the MK Ultra that used hypnosis and drugs to push mind control to its limits. Is it possible that your friendly neighbor could have been implanted with a program to suddenly become a killer when triggered by the right signal? We don't know. We just don't know. We live next door to people. Some of them we know, and eventually, or sometime or another, we become acquainted with our neighbors. But in many of these towns here, they do their thing, we do our thing. We don't know what's going on in these people's houses, and they don't know what's going on in ours. So, how do we know that the person next door could be triggered to do something because his mind is being controlled? And when that trigger comes, he or she reacts to whatever the controlling factor is and whatever the assignment is in their mind. So this is really, really, really something. So what has been documented is that if you found a subject whose personality was deviant to begin with and wanted to direct their minds to do something extreme, like plant or a bomb or commit an assassination, you might or you may be able to guide him or her to do it with or without hypnosis. We've heard of people, we've heard of the suicide bombers. We've heard of people but mainly that. And you say, how could a person be talked into killing themselves along with numbers of people? The mindset. Somewhere, somehow, someone has planted something into their minds to make them act this way. So the hypnotic trance is a state of unawareness that makes a person more easily persuaded. But the art of persuasion relies on many factors. Now, this is research, okay? And I'm in psychology today. So, to convince a normal person to become a killer is extremely unlikely. But if you are able to use coercion, such as kidnapping and threatening the life of their child, a person could very well be able to do anything to protect their offspring. There's so many factors in here, as they say, mitigating factors, okay? So many things can go on. We see it, and I like FBI. I like Law and Order. I like those shows like that. And you know, if you ever watched FBI, you see these things happening all the time where somebody has been influenced by someone or something, and something triggers them, and they just go what we call berserk, okay, and do all kinds of evil, unseemly things. So if something comes up, hey, somebody will do whatever needs to be done to do whatever they need to have done. Okay? So, similarly, it may be possible to convince a person that something horrific will happen unless they follow your instructions precisely. We've seen it. People kidnap people. If you don't give me $5 million by 5 p.m., I'm going to start sending you pieces of this person, that person. I'm going to do this and that and the other. And people are motivated by that, and they will do what they have to do. Okay? So hypnosis could be used to plant such images, feelings, and stories in an innocent person who may then give in to the pressure and commit an attack they would otherwise never consider. We've heard of it. We've heard of, why did you do this? Because, because, and then they go into it many times, okay? You may have read in the spy novels about nefarious masterminds who use so-called mind control techniques to program innocents to do their bidding like so many robots. And again, while this is unlikely, evildoers may be able to recruit the types of individuals whose personality already is ready, if not eager, for violence, which could presumably include combat veterans who killed many enemy combatants in active duty. Perhaps this person also has strong philosophical leanings that following orders is correct. If such a person volunteers for a covert project and enough time is spent applying all sorts of techniques to reprogram the subject, anything may be possible. Hypnosis could be used to promote a more complete mind reprogramming and solidify a specific plan for great detail and create a hypnotized walking time bomb. I really believe this is possible. I really do. Because otherwise, you say, she couldn't have been in her right mind. He couldn't have been in his right mind. And if you know people who've done some things and you know them personally, you've been around them, and they're totally different from the act they committed, and you say, no, she was not in her right mind. He was not in his right mind. Something snapped. Something happened. Fortunately, there are very few people who are eager or willing to volunteer for such an experiment. There are also, however, many fanatics who do not need any additional persuasion to become assassins. We all know the madness of martyrs who become suicide bombers. Didn't I just say something about that earlier? In the name of fanatical belief, we need hardly worry about someone using hypnosis to reprogram an individual to become a killer. There are enough individuals already eagerly seeking opportunities to inflict harm. And it is so true. And it's getting worse and worse. And then I have a book that I wrote years ago, and it is available. And it's like a quick reading. You could probably read it in 15, 20 minutes. And it's called What's This World Coming To? What's this world coming to? And in the Bible, the scriptures, they say it's inspiring word of God. It tells us that evil men will wax worse and worse. And if it were possible, the people, the very elect people, the people who serve God and who are saved and sanctified, filled with His Spirit, the Christians, if it were possible, we would all be deceived. But thank God it's not possible. But the time is coming, is here, part of it, where things are going to get worse and worse. The world is in turmoil and it's going to keep on moving toward disaster. Okay, so it's us personally who have to have control of our minds. And then also, I know this is not Greater Gospel Temple's webcast today, but it is me. Okay, and so the Bible, in the scriptures, it says, He will keep you in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on Him. Talking about God. If your mind is stayed on Him, healthily, healthily, then he'll keep you in perfect peace. No one will be able to control your mind. No one, okay? Keep your mind on the Heavenly Father, okay? There are enough individuals already eagerly seeking opportunities to inflict harm. Most of these violent people are psychotic. This is a serious mental problem and often does lead to criminal behavior. And people can have a chemical imbalance in their bodies, and that causes people to have breakdowns, mental breakdowns, emotional problems, and all of that. But then some don't get to the doctor or wherever they can get some help. They don't go where they can get some help. And sometimes their minds are so crowded with confusion that they cannot think that I need to get some help. And then when somebody tries to help them, to realize that they do need help, then sometimes even those people are not effective because of the emotional state they're in. So if you're a normal person, you cannot be programmed to become a killer without your knowledge. You hear this? If you are a normal person, you cannot be programmed to become a killer without your knowledge. However, there are plenty of psychotic people who can easily become violent even without any outside influence. Hypnosis can be persuasive, but does not give the hypnotist control over your mind or judgment. Okay. This is what this is saying. This is Psychology Today. Okay, so as far as the research has shown them, they said nobody can take control of your mind without you knowing it. Okay, so do not fear hypnosis. It should continue to develop as an effective technique to promote desired change in behavior, thinking, and emotions without shifting to mind control. It's a powerful tool, and we should use it for beneficial purposes, not evil intentions. Yeah, tell them that. Because you know people will take that and they will use it for their benefit. You know it's happening right now. Thank you so much for being with me. I really appreciate it. Now we're going to the basics. What is hypnosis? And then if you need to find a hypnotist, therapist, they have that information here in Psychology Today too. So the comments below scream about the various secret mind control programs that evil governments have used to create assassins. If these programs really worked, they would still be in use, but they are not, as far as we might know, okay? There's so many secret things going on in this world. Yes, mainly because of all the reasons that I elaborated above. So this is a writer talking. Hypnosis is a very safe and effective tool. People can sometimes be dangerous. Ah, I ain't gonna let nobody hypnotize me. No way, Jose, as Jennifer would say. No way, Jose. Nikki said, no, no. I'm not gonna let them do it to me, and I know they're doing it, okay? That's dangerous. Okay. Now, are we at the end of this? Oh yes, we're at the end of this. And John Ryder, PhD, is a psychologist, a hypnotherapist, and the author of Positive Directions. He's a mental fitness expert who offers effective tools to refocus on the positive. Thank you so much, JR. Okay, now we're going to Psych Central, understanding manipulative mind control and what to do about it. And this is part one, and this is Psych Central. And it's medically reviewed by Scientific Advisory Board and is written by Dr. Sherry Steins, JPCC, and she releases on the 15th of March in the year 2019. And this is Psych Central, and Psych Central and Psychology Today, and let me see, there's one more. Those are my favorites. Those are my favorite sites. So this article addresses the subject of psychological abuse and why victims slash targets can be manipulated and controlled mentally by narcissists and sociopaths, excuse me. That means general psychopaths, okay? And what can be done when it happens. So I always like to give some kind of remedies or something that can help us if we come across these problems and things. I just don't like to present it and then not present something that can help us through it, okay? Because these things are happening each and every day. And we've seen people in our families who we call brainwashed. If they start a relationship with someone, sometimes they change and everything focuses on that person in that new relationship. And it seems like we cannot get them away from that person. And we know that they've changed somehow. And hopefully we haven't been the ones, and maybe we have, where people have prayed to get us out of certain relationships. Okay? So this occurs in families with narcissistic parents. Oh, listen, let me do this again. Okay? This article addresses the subject of psychological abuse and why victims slash targets can be manipulated and controlled mentally by narcissists and sociopaths. And a sociopath is a general psychopath, okay? And what can be done when it happens. This occurs in families with narcissistic parents and cases of parental alienation, where one parent uses a child as a psychological weapon to abuse the other parent. Oh, we've heard of that so many times, haven't we? I think that's a shame. That is a shame. Mind control can occur in any system involving people, such as in churches, the workplace, and families. Someone was telling me about some people that have worked at a certain place for so long, and their minds are just, hey, workplace, certain type of people, even though they're opposite ethnic, in the ethnic groups, and how they cater to the opposite ethnic group. You know, mind control can occur in any system involving people, such as churches, the workplace, and families. Ingredients require Ingredients required: human beings, narcissistic leaders, scapegoats, okay? Lieutenants, flying monkeys, and keeping secrets. So, what can't be allowed in this type of system is free thinkers or free spirits. People with these qualities will be banished. So, now the ingredients required is human beings, narcissistic leaders, scapegoats, lieutenants, which are flying monkeys, and keeping secrets. And we've seen and known people, some things you can't pry out of them, you know, uh, psychologically, because they have been reprogrammed by someone else, and they are not acting normally like they would. They're not the same that we knew before they got connected with a certain this, that, him, or her. Okay, so these things really happen, and no, I know all of us have experienced this, and some of us might have been that person. Okay, so what can't be allowed in this type of system is free thinkers or free spirits. People with these qualities can be banished. They don't want you. If you're a free thinker, you think for yourself, you're a free spirit, baby, you banished from this. They can't use you, okay? Thank the Lord. Now, get a deeper understanding of trauma and PTSD. Oh, that's one of the things in this Psych Central, okay? Now we go to mind control. It's similar to what happens when people join cults. And we've heard about cults. And one of the famous cults that we've heard about is what that Jim Jones and how all those people took their lives. Well, he forced them to take their lives. He had control of their minds. And when they did start thinking for themselves and I don't want to do this, then they forced them to drink that potion and die. Okay? So mind control is similar to what happens when people join cults. CULTS. Cult leaders manage to coerce strong-minded, intelligent people away from loving family and friends, all in exchange for a false promise. Oh my goodness. Usually, people are manipulated but believe the decisions belong to themselves, not the manipulator. See, that is the cunningness of it. Some people are gifted in manipulation and cunningness. Oh, yes. Human social interaction dynamics are very powerful. Throughout time, people have been manipulated by propaganda and social pressure. Think about Hitler and how he was able to manipulate an entire country into hating certain people groups and acting on it. The underlying reasons for this will be addressed in this article, and oh, I'm ready to get there. How about you? So, if you're struggling with trying to rescue someone from the mind control of another person, then this article is for you. Okay? I am going to address through this writer, okay, how it happened, and also what to do once it's happened in subsequent articles. So there are other articles coming up that will tell us what to do and how to deal with this, okay? So according to clinical psychologist Margaret Singer, there are 6 conditions under which a person must be subjected where mind control happens. These are, and this is Singer in 2003, okay? Number 1, keep the target in the dark, unaware that she is being changed. Victims of this type of manipulation are psychologically led to change their behaviors in order to meet the agenda of the leader. We've seen it happen so many, many times. The end goal is for the target to do the bidding of the leader. Okay? So, in the case of parental alienation, the end result is to hurt the targeted uh, patent or parent, okay, excuse me, to hurt the targeted parent, an alienation. And you know, it's a shame that people use their children to manipulate the other parent. My God. In other cases, the end goal is to fulfill the leader's personal needs for power. Listen to this, we talk about this quite often, and control, and even to fulfill his/her ultimate fantasies. My goodness. Number 2, control the person's physical and social environment. Leaders of mind control provide ample structure, rules, and assignments to keep targets constantly on task. Then, number three, create a sense of powerlessness in the target. Leaders ensure that the target is away from her social support system and puts him or her in an environment with those already entrenched in the group. They separate you from the ones that love you and care for you. I remember, and that flag went up. That flag was red, yellow, green, white, whatever color that flag was. Somebody told me, okay, I want to be with you. I want us to be together, but I want us to move away from everybody. And baby, those flags started moving about. No, no, mm-mm, no. This is how they get you. They get you away from your support group. And then they pound and pound until they get you beat into submission. So many of them. This is how it happens. So this helps targets of mind control lose personal autonomy, power, and confidence. This erodes the target's intuition. As the target's sense of powerlessness increases, his or her sense of good judgment and understanding of the world decreases. The view of reality is destabilized. As the other members of the group attack the victim's worldview, cognitive dissonance results. No uh, talking about this is allowed. In the case of parental alienation, the empathic or normal parent is villainized. And I think I know I've said this. Oh, it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. Number four, now, if the other parent is dangerous and harmful to that child's well being, then that's a different story, okay? Now, number four, incorporate a system of rewards and punishments in the person's life, ones that promote the manipulator's agenda and undermine the target's autonomy and individuality. They try to steal your individuality. They try to take your personality, shape you into who and what they want you to be. And so many people have been successful at doing this to other people. So where is our mind? Can we locate it? Do we know where our mind is in this day and time? Members get positive feedback to conforming to the leader's beliefs and behaviors, and negative feedback for old beliefs and behaviors. Number five, create a system of rewards, punishments, and experiences in order to promote learning the group's ideology or belief system and group approved behaviors. And they train other people, they manipulate their minds to cause them to be a part of the manipulation and reconstruction of the victim's mind, okay? Or the target's mind, whichever one you want to use. But they shape other people to do the thing and to assist them in doing that, okay? So, good behavior, demonstrating an understanding and acceptance of the group's beliefs and compliance are rewarded, while questioning, expressing doubts, or criticizing are met with disapproval, redress, and possible rejection. And if one expresses a question, he or she is made to feel that there is something inherently wrong with them doing so. Number six, The system is closed with an authoritarian structure that allows no feedback and refuses input not approved of by leadership approval. You can't ask questions. You can't uh, question the methods of anything going on. That's a no-no. Okay? So the group has a top-down pyramid structure. The leader never loses. A top-down pyramid structure. The leader never loses. And it's amazing. It's amazing how people gain that much power over people. And I've seen it, been there. Then, thank God, when you study for yourself, you read and you learn for yourself, and you can ask questions. And when you start asking questions, that's when they want to, hey, you don't do that. And they're either going to tell you you can't be here anymore, or they're going to try to beat you into submission. And I do thank God for deliverance. I do thank God for deliverance. Remember this: targets of mind control are not objects, that means actors, in the leader's personal production, where the leader is a director. I have to go back and read this again because there was a word that my mind put in there that wasn't there or isn't there. Here we go. Remember this: targets of mind control are not valued for their individuality. Rather, they are mere objects, actors in the leader's personal production, where the leader is the director, the producer, the author, and playwright of her own saga. And that word is in there, but I had skipped a sentence. All right, got that. If you know me, you know I have to go back and get it right. Now, and the part two is continued in understanding manipulative mind control and what to do about it. And there is a part two. And this is uh, from Better Help. Better Help. That's one of my favorites too. So if you would like a copy of the free newsletter from here, The Psychology of Abuse, they said, please email their the recovery expert at gmail.com, all lowercase, okay? So you can go to Psych Central. But I want to go and see about this part too. I have to see what time it is. Oh, let me look. Oh, I have, about 13, 14 minutes. Okay, let me see if I can get to part two of this. Part two of this. See if it'll let me go there. I'll have to go to another page, but I'm going to go to my next article, and it is Learning Mind. And this is five signs someone is using mind control against you. 5 signs that someone is using mind control against you. And I have a pop-up here, and I'm trying to get it down. Okay, let me see if I can get it down. I don't know. It's not wanting to go anywhere. It keeps popping up. Okay, let's see. This is by Janie Davies. Janie Davies, okay. If you think mind control is a term bandied about by crazed conspiracy theorists and best viewed in old spy films. Think again, okay? Here we go. And we have related topics like mind control and manipulation secrets, how to get into someone's thoughts, how to get into people's minds, hypnosis techniques for mind control, and mind control publishing. So here we go. Mind control is as relevant today as it was back in the 1950s when it was called brainwashing and used against American troops in Chinese prison camps during the Korean War. Oh yeah, it exists and it is being practiced today. Probably every country, continent is practicing on their enemies. So what exactly is mind control, and how can we prevent someone from using it against us? Mind control is the concept by which a subject's thoughts and actions can be controlled by an external force. This can be via psychological or physical means and often involves breaking the subject down so that complete control can be achieved. Breaking a person down. And you've seen people that just hound people and hound people and hound people. And then they, oh gosh, what is that term I want to say, but anyway, it might come back to me. So, if you're thinking that this all sounds far fetched and implausible, it is worth remembering that mind control is used in our everyday lives, from advertising products to media bias in politics. It is so true, isn't it? I know you know. So here are 5 ways someone is using mind control on you. Hmm. Okie dokie, here we go. Number 1, isolation. If you find yourself slowly being isolated from your friends and family, then this is a probable sign someone is trying to control your mind. Your nearest and dearest will no doubt tell you what is wrong with your new friend, and that is exactly what they don't want. They need you alone and vulnerable in order to break your spirit. And have you ever seen someone whose spirit is broken? It's a terrible, terrible thing when someone's spirit is broken. And some people, they do that just to have power and control over people. And some people do it and then just drop the people and go on to another person and try to do the same thing to them. Though number 2 is moody behavior. Does your partner sulk if he or she doesn't get their own way? Do you tend to change your behavior to stop or prevent an argument? This is the start of mind control, where your actions are changing because of what another person is doing. It's a telltale sign that they are trying to control your mind and are quite successful at it. Because so many times we say, we'll just be quiet. We don't want to argue, or we'll just give in. Well, used to, no more of that, okay? But we've all been there sometime or another. But these are the signs where people want complete mind control over you. They want to manipulate your every move. So these are what you look for, okay? Some of them. Meta communication. This is a technique whereby a person gives subtle clues and hints using nonverbal cues. For instance, if a husband asks his wife if she is okay and she replies yes with a sigh and a shrug of her shoulders, this is clearly indicating she is not okay. but her verbal answer is positive. Some people use meta communication to implant subliminal thoughts. Number 4, neuro linguistic programming. Neuro linguistic programming, or NLP, is a technique of layering, okay, certain thoughts using language into a person's unconscious mind without them knowing what you're doing. NLP looks at many different aspects of a person and uses language to plant suggestions. For instance, if a person is visually oriented, or orientated is what this is right here. They will be spoken to using language, using visual cues such as, can you see what I mean? A person used to auditory cues will have hearing language used on them like, I hear you completely. All right. Number 5, uncompromising rules. Does your partner place unreasonable rules on you and on your lifestyle? If you are expected to meet impossible deadlines, have strictly regulated meal times and bathroom breaks, no access to your own money or friends, then this is mind control. Oh, yes. So, what they are doing is taking all your decisions away from you so that you follow a strict set of behaviors. This, in turn, stops you thinking for yourself and makes it easier for them to implant their own agenda. And they're implanting it into your brain. It happens every single day. How do you prevent mind control? If you recognize any of these above examples, then it's time to break free from this person and their attempts to control your mind. Stay in close contact with friends and family, okay? Listen, stay in close contact with friends and family. Do not allow your new partner or friend to get in the way of your seeing any of your old friends or family members. Insist on seeing them, and if the answer is still no, walk away. And then you have to be very careful in the walking away sometimes, because you get, oh, if you don't stop it, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to get out of here. Don't do that. You be wise, discreet, and do what you have to do, okay? Next, do not put up with moody or sulky behavior. Treat it with the disdain it deserves, and make sure you tell the person exhibiting it that it is an immature and childish way and you will not tolerate it. And then nonverbal cues. Watch carefully for nonverbal cues that do not tally with what a person is saying. Question them if their answers do not match their body language or actions. Then we go to NLP. NLP is a little harder to spot, as anyone using it is likely to be a professional. Signs to look out for are initial feelings that you have found your soulmate, or that the person you have just met is perfectly matched to you. Watch out for someone that keeps mirroring your body language or uses vague phrases that don't make sense. Be careful. Next, uncompromising rules. As for someone that imposes uncompromising rules, take advice, from close friends and family when it comes to this situation. By the time it gets to this point, you will have probably been worn down with low self-esteem. By telling your friends and family, their instant reaction to what is happening to you should be enough to shake you out of this awful trap. It's out here. And then there are some references like Wikipedia and Psych Central. Okay, so this is copyrighted material from 2012 to 2024, Learning Mind. All right, all rights reserved. For permission to reprint, you can contact them. So this is Learning Minds. All right, thank you so much for being here with me. I'm pretty sure that my time is almost up, and I think I've done some good timing on this today, so be careful. Where is our mind? And sometimes we testify and say, I thank the Lord for I'm clothed and in my right mind. And sometimes I say, I think I am. But yeah, I am. And I thank God for that. And remember that if you keep your mind in the right place and keep it on the Lord, He will keep you in perfect peace if your mind is stayed on Him. I really appreciate you for being here. And please just let me know that you were watching. I thank you so much. And please share this because this is a very, very important in this day and time. And I've seen some things, some revelations have been opened up to me. And I am so thankful for that. Thank you so much for watching Point of View. You are wonderful. You are awesome. I love you so much. Okay, so tomorrow, God willing, is the Mother's Board Inc. at 1 p.m. right here. I love you. Enjoy the remainder of your day. It's time to end the webcast.